Vice President JD Vance has announced a policy to essentially reindustrialize America. This is amid concerns being raised over the U.S. losing its manufacturing power.
Deindustrialization poses risks both to our national security and our workforce.
Now, he further explains that manufacturing, it's not just about jobs. It ties into the entire supply chain to build a product, and also to the innovation and even to national pride and national identity. Vance goes on to discuss the negative impacts of globalization. Big companies started looking to other countries for cheap manufacturing, cheap labor. We sent our jobs overseas, and the idea for that was, look, cheap manufacturing means cheap products. Cheap products means more competitive prices, and that means better sales for the companies that do it, and that means everybody else has to do it to compete. He said American businesses became addicted to this.
Cheap labor is fundamentally a crutch, and it's a crutch that inhibits innovation. I might even say that it's a drug that too many American firms got addicted to.
Like he notes, cheap labor is fundamentally a crutch, but the other impacts were not kept in mind. When manufacturing is sent elsewhere, what does that mean? It means that another company in another country starts learning to build that product. That company then starts building the supply chains, the networks for minerals and metals and other materials that are needed for that. That builds entire new industries, which also ended up getting shipped abroad. And as those foreign companies learned to make those products, they also started making their own versions of those products. The people closest to the manufacturing process, they also end up being the ones who tend to think of ways to innovate, and then they steal it as well. And so the businesses that were looking for cheap foreign labor, the ones here, they soon found themselves competing with cheap knockoff products or just entirely new companies from the same places they were sending their products to. It backfired. And through this, we also began losing a lot of our industrial might as a nation. What JD Vance seems to be pointing to here as well is a broader push within the Trump administration to start bringing manufacturing jobs and everything connected to it back to the United States.